Most people think attraction is just obvious, that if you're attractive, you'll feel it, you'll see it plain as day. But what if I told you that's almost entirely wrong? Because in the real world, attraction isn't loud at all. It's rarely direct, and it is almost never clearly communicated. Instead, it's subtle, it's biological, and a lot of the time, it's happening completely unconsciously. And what that really means is you could be way more attractive than you think and just be missing all the signals that are right there in front of you. Now, let's be clear. This isn't about boosting your ego, and it's definitely not about learning how to manipulate people. This is just about awareness. Because once you understand how attraction actually works, you can stop guessing and start recognizing the real signals for what they are. So let's start with what I call the invisible signals. Things like attention and mirroring. You see, attraction doesn't just announce itself. It kind of leaks out through our attention. There's this fascinating concept in psychology called attention bias. Basically, if someone finds you attractive, their brain automatically starts tracking you. It's not always obvious, but you'll see it in patterns. They'll look at you just a little longer than necessary, or they'll notice small things, a new haircut, the tone of your voice, or just your energy that day. And here's the part that trips everyone up. From your perspective, it just feels like normal attention, right? Nothing special. But from their side, their brain is literally putting a spotlight on you, prioritizing you over everything else happening around them. It's an unconscious prioritization that completely flips reality on its head. This unconscious attention then leads right into our next signal. You see, as humans, we tend to copy what we like. It's called mirroring. It's a totally subconscious behavior where someone starts reflecting you. And this isn't them trying to do it. It's purely neurological. And it works just like this. You lean forward, they lean forward. You slow down your speech, they start to match your pace. The crazy part is, when you're the one being mirrored, you almost never notice it because it just feels so natural. You just think, wow, we really get along. But what's really going on is much deeper. Their brain is trying to align itself with yours. Okay, but before we get to what is probably the single most misleading signal on this list, we've got to talk about something a little strange. Because, well, sometimes attraction doesn't look like attraction at all. And that brings us to the misleading signals. These are the ones that people get wrong all the time, often misinterpreting them as the exact opposite of what they really are. Think about it. When someone is attracted to you, their body goes on high alert. Their heart rate goes up, their awareness gets sharper, and their self-consciousness skyrockets. It's a full-on biological response, and it's all tied to adrenaline. But here's the mistake most of us make. We see that nervousness, the short replies, the awkward silences, them avoiding eye contact, and we read it as disinterest. It feels like rejection, when in reality, it can just be overstimulation. Their entire system is just trying to calm down and regulate itself around you. And right alongside nervousness is another signal that plays out over time: proximity. It's a simple idea. People subconsciously move toward what they are drawn to. Not in a big, dramatic way, but consistently. We call it proximity seeking, and the key is the pattern. It might look something like this. The first week, they're on the other side of the room. The next week, they're at the same table. By week 3, they're on the same side of the table. It all feels like a coincidence, right? But repetition reveals the truth. And here's the really subtle part. They hardly ever initiate a direct conversation. They just make that conversation possible. And that is how attraction hides in plain sight. All right, now for the one that messes with everybody's head, the signal that seems to break all the rules: inconsistency. I'm sure you've felt this before, that hot and cold behavior. One minute, they are super engaged and warm, and the next, they're distant and almost cold. Almost everyone chalks this up to clear disinterest and just moves on. But very often, what you're actually witnessing is an internal conflict. You see, attraction raises the emotional stakes, and that can lead to all this stuff: hesitation, overthinking, a ton of self-doubt. So they pull away, not because they feel nothing, but because they feel too much. Okay, let's zoom out and put all of these pieces together. We've been looking at these signals one by one, but the real magic happens when you see them as one interconnected system. So here they are, the 5 big signals of unconscious attraction: that unconscious attention, the subtle mirroring, that nervous energy, consistent proximity, and finally, that confusing inconsistency. Look, none of these on their own screams attraction, but when you see them together, they form a very clear pattern. And this is really the main takeaway of this whole thing. Attraction isn't about one big, obvious moment. It's about a pattern. It's about learning to read a biological signal network that most people just never even know exists. So the real question to ask yourself isn't, am I attractive? The real question is this: have you been ignoring the signals all along simply because they didn't look the way you thought they were supposed to?